Hi there, fellow travelers. If you've ever dreamed of waking up to ocean views, sipping cocktails under the sun, and exploring new ports without the hassle of airport lines or endless packing, then welcome, you're in the right place. Cruising has become the go-to escape for many young adventurers, remote workers craving flexibility, couples seeking affordable romance, and even solo travelers wanting a bit of structured freedom. It's easy, exciting, and it promises a kind of freedom most vacations can't match. But just beneath that calm, turquoise surface lies a world most passengers never see. Cruise lines have mastered the art of subtle persuasion, from clever pricing to exclusive perks that may not be so exclusive after all. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal what's really happening behind the buffet lines and balcony views. If you want to cruise smarter, safer, and without falling for the fine print, stick around. And hey, if travel tips and real talk like this sound like your vibe, don't forget to subscribe to TravelVibes. Your next smooth sailing might just start here. Number 1, the bingo jackpot illusion. Why you're probably playing too early. Now let's talk about something that seems innocent enough. Bingo. Harmless, right? A fun little game to pass the time between pool dips and buffet runs. But don't let the soft lighting and cheerful announcer fool you. On a cruise ship, bingo isn't just a game, it's a full-blown spectacle. Here's the trick. The jackpot? It doesn't magically appear in your first or second session. Nope. It builds slowly, session after session, luring you in with the dream of a big win. But the real prize doesn't drop until the last night. That's when the seasoned cruisers, the pros who've been pacing themselves all week, make their move. They know the game, and they've been waiting for the final round like sharks circling the buffet. Thinking of grabbing one of those digital bingo tablets? You better act fast. They sell out quicker than sunscreen on a sea day. Seriously, blink and they're gone. So if you're just in it for a laugh and the thrill of yelling bingo in a room full of strangers, go for it. But if you're eyeing that jackpot, be strategic. Sometimes the best move is to wait and let the odds work in your favor. Number 2, the towel mistake that could lock you out of paradise. Picture this. You've just had the perfect swim. The sun is warm, the sea breeze is gentle, and your favorite towel is draped over the balcony railing, flapping happily like a little victory flag. Feels like a postcard moment, right? Well, not to the cruise line. What seems like innocent towel drying to you might be seen as a code red violation to the crew. Yep, some passengers have had their balcony doors locked for the entire cruise. No warning, just a note that says for safety reasons, your access has been revoked. Why? Because one gust of wind could send that towel sailing into the ocean, or worse, into someone else's piña colada 3 decks down. And let's face it, no one wants their tropical getaway ruined by rogue terry cloth. So here's the tip seasoned cruisers live by. Use the drying rack in your bathroom, or bring a compact microfiber towel that dries quicker than you can say, oops. Trust me, it's better than spending your vacation peeking through the balcony glass like you're grounded at sea. Number 3, the buffet makeover. Yesterday's veggies, today's surprise. Let's talk buffet. If you're anything like most American cruise lovers, families with hungry teens, retirees chasing variety, or young couples on a foodie adventure, the buffet is your best friend. It's bottomless, it's beautiful, and it's blissfully judgment-free. But have you ever looked at your lunch and thought, wait a minute, didn't I see this pasta yesterday, just wearing a different sauce? Well, you probably did. Cruise ships are floating cities with limited storage and a big mission to cut down on waste. So that untouched tray of roasted vegetables from yesterday? It might now be the star of a chunky vegetable soup, leftover chicken. Say hello to chicken salad. It's not gross. It's just creatively efficient. So next time your dish feels a little familiar, smile and remember, you're not just dining, you're experiencing buffet improv at sea. Bon appetit, remix style. Number 4, the spa trap. When relaxation turns into a sales pitch. Now imagine this. You're lying on a warm massage table, waves gently rocking the ship, soft music floating through the air. For a moment, all your cruise worries melt away. But just as your shoulders finally loosen up, bam, a sales pitch drops like an anchor. Would you like to buy the eucalyptus oil I used? only $89.99, today only, and it comes with a free consultation. Sound familiar? That's because many cruise ship spas aren't operated by the cruise line. They're run by outside vendors whose staff are trained not just in massage, but in master-level upselling. From miracle creams to 3 treatment packages, they know exactly when to strike, right when you're too relaxed to argue. So here's the insider trick. Enjoy the massage, smile politely, and practice a gentle, no, thank you. Better yet, keep your wallet zipped until you've had time to think clearly, because no one wants to leave the spa glowing and broke. Number 5, the hidden lounge mystery, where the real VIPs sip in style. You ever notice someone casually slipping through an unmarked door near the back of the ship and just disappearing? No signs, no menu board, no music blaring, just a quick glance, a quiet nod, and poof, they're gone. Welcome to the world of secret bars at sea. Yes, these hush-hush hideaways exist. They're the speakeasies of the cruise world, tucked away for sweet guests, loyalty elites, or those lucky enough to get a whispered invitation. While you're battling the line at the main pool bar for a watered-down mojito, someone else is lounging in velvet chairs, sipping top-shelf bourbon in complete serenity. For curious cruise-goers, from Gen X couples celebrating anniversaries to digital nomads on bucket list trips, this feels like cracking a secret code. And here's a tip. Just ask. Your room steward or concierge might quietly point you in the right direction. A little curiosity can open some very exclusive doors. Number 6. The outsourcing surprise, when the cruise line isn't really in charge. Here's something most first-time cruisers don't realize, and even seasoned travelers might miss. That relaxing spa, the glittering jewelry store, or the high-stakes art auction on board, chances are none of them are actually run by the cruise line itself. Instead, they're managed by third-party companies leasing space on the ship, kind of like mall kiosks, but floating. So, if your $300 facial leaves you looking like a lobster, or your limited edition artwork arrives home with a suspicious crack, don't expect much sympathy from guest services. They might smile and shrug, then gently remind you it's not really their problem. This matters especially to U.S. travelers. Whether you're a Florida retiree looking for pampering or a West Coast couple chasing Instagram-worthy souvenirs. Before you hand over your cruise card, read the fine print, and maybe sleep on that impulse buy. At sea, sold as is can come with a side of regret. Number 7, the vanishing port, when your dream stop becomes a sea day. Let's say you picked this cruise for one reason, that port. Maybe it was the one with the hammocks, turquoise waters, and those coconut drinks that come with tiny umbrellas. You've been picturing it for weeks, maybe even months. Then suddenly, over the ship's speakers comes the captain's voice. Calm, friendly, professional. Due to unforeseen circumstances, we'll now be enjoying an extra day at sea. Translation? That beach day you were counting down to just got replaced by towel-folding demos and trivia games in the atrium. For travelers across the U.S., from retirees in Arizona to teachers from Ohio on spring break, this one stings. Cruise lines have the right to cancel ports for weather, safety, or even cost-cutting. And most of the time, you won't get a refund. So the best strategy? Stay flexible. Don't plan your entire trip around one location. And maybe hold off on posting that sandy toes, salty breeze countdown, at least until the anchor actually drops. Number 8. Say cheese. The cruise ship is watching more than you think. You might think your cruise is all about unplugging and escaping the daily grind, but the ship, it's very much online. From the moment you step on board, the cameras are rolling. Facial recognition checks you in. Hallway cameras quietly track foot traffic. Elevators, pool decks, even some casual corners of the ship, all monitored. And here's the kicker. Your balcony might not be as private as you think. Especially on newer ships with multi-level designs and glass walkways, someone from an upper deck could be enjoying an accidental view of your morning stretch in that fluffy bathrobe. So if you're planning to rehearse your best TikTok dance under the stars, maybe do it inside your cabin. For U.S. travelers, families with kids, solo adventurers, or retirees seeking peace, just know this isn't about being paranoid. It's about being aware. On a cruise ship, Big Brother isn't lurking. He's just making sure you don't trip over your margarita. Number 9. The ship's doctor isn't McDreamy, what the medical center can and can't do. Let's talk about something no one wants to think about on vacation: getting sick at sea. Now, cruise ships do have medical centers. They're clean, professional, and can handle the basics: seasickness, sunburn, twisted ankles from one too many salsa classes. But here's the deal. It's more like a floating urgent care than a full-blown ER. If you have a real emergency, say chest pain, a broken bone, or anything needing surgery, you're not getting patched up on deck. You're getting airlifted off the ship. And in case you're wondering, yes, that helicopter ride can cost more than your entire cruise, plus airfare, plus maybe a few years of regret if you didn't buy travel insurance. For many Americans, especially seniors, families with kids, or anyone cruising with pre-existing conditions, this is a wake-up call. Travel insurance isn't the glamorous part of your trip, but it just might be the most important. Because, trust me, that tiny checkmark box at checkout, it's not where you want to save money. Number 10. Salt to suds. What's really flowing through your shower head? Now here's something most cruisers don't realize until they're halfway through a steamy shampoo session. That refreshing shower you're enjoying? It's not spring water from the Alps. It's seawater, desalinated, purified, and recycled right on the ship. Sounds high-tech, and it is. Cruise ships use some pretty impressive systems to make salt water usable for bathing, brushing, and yes, even margarita ice. But like any system, it has limits. If the desalination unit hiccups or the plumbing takes a hit, even a basic shower can suddenly turn into a polite request for a sponge bath. So next time you see those friendly little reminders to help us conserve water, know this: it's not just eco-marketing, it's a gentle plea from the ship's plumbing team. For U.S. travelers who love long, hot showers, especially after a sticky day exploring port, this is a nudge to be a little mindful. Save the deep conditioner routine for back home. And maybe skip that 20-minute shower concert. Unless you're willing to finish your encore with cold water. Number 11. The nickel and dime game. When included, isn't quite what it seems. Let's talk about something that sneaks up on even the savviest cruisers. Those tiny little charges that quietly pile up like souvenir magnets on your fridge. You might think room service is free, and sometimes it is, until you notice a delivery convenience fee sneakily added to your tab. Want that second entree because you couldn't decide between the salmon and the steak? Some ships charge extra for that too. Even something as simple as messaging your travel buddy across the ship can set you back $5 if you download the onboard texting app. For many American travelers, whether you're budget-conscious retirees or working professionals making every vacation dollar count, these small charges don't seem like much at first. But by the end of the cruise, they can feel like a surprise math quiz you didn't study for. So keep an eye on your account through the ship's app, because that all-inclusive experience sometimes comes with a very detailed receipt. Number 12. The hidden workforce. Who's really keeping the ship afloat? Now, while you're sipping a latte on the sun deck or deciding between tiramisu and creme brulee, someone else is working quietly behind the scenes to make your cruise feel magical. That friendly room steward who remembers your name and somehow folds your towel into a perfect flamingo every evening? Chances are they've been working 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, for months on end. No weekends, no sick days, and very little space to breathe, literally. Many crew members sleep in tight, shared cabins deep in the ship's lower decks, far from the ocean views you're enjoying. For U.S. travelers who appreciate good service, whether you're a couple celebrating your anniversary or a retiree soaking up your bucket list trip, this is something to keep in mind. These crew members are the heartbeat of your vacation. So if they go above and beyond, show your gratitude. Because sometimes the best tips on a cruise aren't the ones you hear. They're the ones you give. Number 13. The fine print fiasco. What you didn't know you signed up for. Here's a spicy little truth most passengers never see coming. You know that long cruise contract you breezed through when booking? The one buried under pages of terms and conditions? Yeah, that one. It's packed with more plot twists than a courtroom drama. Hidden in the legal lingo are some wild powers. The cruise line can change your itinerary without compensation. They can enter your cabin without notice. In extreme cases, they can even remove you from the ship mid-voyage. And no, you won't get a refund or a lifeboat full of apologies. And guess what? By clicking that cheerful little I agree box at checkout, you said yes to all of it. For U.S. travelers, from busy professionals trying to escape the 9-to-5 to families planning that once-in-a-lifetime reunion cruise, this is your friendly reminder. Take a few minutes to read what you're agreeing to, or at least skim page 1, because the most unexpected detours don't always come from stormy weather. Sometimes they're hiding in the disclaimers. Number 14. The Great Perk Mystery. Why your cabin mate gets more freebies than you bing. Picture this. You're on the same ship, same deck, even the same room category as your new cruise bestie from Canada. But while you're proudly holding your complimentary tote bag, she's clinking glasses with a free drink package, flashing her $200 onboard credit like she's royalty. What gives? Well, here's the secret. Cruise perks often change depending on where you booked from. Yup, geography matters. Different countries have different offers because of local laws, currency deals, or exclusive travel agency partnerships. So while your friend up north is sipping piña coladas on the house, you're buying your own and wondering if your tote can hold crushed ice. For U.S. travelers, especially those booking online or through large vacation packages, it's worth doing a little digging. Check the cruise line's website in multiple countries, or better yet, ask your travel agent to compare offers, because sometimes the best upgrade isn't a bigger room, it's booking smarter. Number 15. The hidden rooms, what you'll never see on the cruise map. Here's one that sounds like a punchline, but it's very real. Every major cruise ship has not only a spa, a theater, and a dozen places to grab dessert, but also a jail and a morgue. Yep, floating luxury meets floating law enforcement. Now the brig, yes, that's the nautical word for jail, is rarely used, but it's there for a reason. If someone gets aggressive, breaks serious rules, or decides to act like they're in a pirate movie, the crew has somewhere to send them. As for the morgue, well, with many cruisers being retirees enjoying their golden years at sea, the ship has to be prepared for every possibility. Of course, you won't find these places next to the gelato bar or listed in your daily activity planner. But for American travelers, especially those cruising with family, it's a reminder that behind the scenes, the ship is a full-blown floating city, complete with its own quiet protocols for life's unexpected moments. Number 16. The catch behind the complimentary perks. Ah yes, the sweet sound of the word free. Free internet, free drinks, free welcome gift. It all sounds like a dream until you dig a little deeper and meet the fine print behind the fantasy. Take free internet, for example. Sounds generous, right? But once you log on, you realize it only covers basic social media apps. And even then, the speed moves slower than a beachside hammock. As for those free drinks, you'll find they're often only available during a 1-hour window in one very specific bar on one very specific deck. Miss it by 5 minutes? Back to the pay menu. For American travelers chasing budget-friendly getaways or trying to stretch their vacation dollars, this one's especially relatable. Cruise lines know how much we love a good deal, but behind every complimentary offer, there's often an asterisk big enough to sink your excitement. So before you raise that free glass of bubbly, check the details, because sometimes the only thing truly unlimited is the marketing. Number 17. The Great Sunbed Snag, why finding a lounger feels like a game show. Here's a fun morning mystery. It's barely 6 a.m., the sun is just rising, and somehow every single pool lounger already has a towel on it. No people, just rows of perfectly folded towels, like they're holding spots in line for invisible sunbathers. Now technically, this chair-saving practice is against the rules. You're not supposed to claim a lounger and vanish for hours, but let's be honest, enforcement is hit or miss. Sometimes crew members remove items, other times they just look the other way while towel wars unfold at sea. So what's a peaceful cruiser to do? If you're an American traveler dreaming of a lazy afternoon with a good book and no elbow battles, head to the adult-only deck early. Or better yet, check out the spa. Some ships offer private lounger rentals with shade, serenity, and zero competition. Because let's face it, you're on vacation to relax, not play Survivor Pool Edition. Number 18. Shore excursions. Pay for peace or hunt for a deal? Let's say you're pulling into a dream port. Maybe it's Cozumel, maybe Santorini, maybe that tiny island with more goats than people. You're excited, the sun is shining, and now comes the big decision. Book the cruise line's official shore excursion or go rogue with a local tour. Cruise line excursions offer one big thing: peace of mind. If your group runs late, the ship will wait for you. But that convenience comes with a markup that can make your wallet sweat under SPF 50. You're often herded with big crowds, hearing the same rehearsed jokes your guide told last week. On the flip side, DIY tours are usually cheaper, more personal, and way more flexible. You'll meet local guides, avoid the cattle call crowds, and maybe even discover hidden spots the cruise passengers never see. The catch? You've got to do your homework. Read reviews, double-check meeting points, and always plan extra time to get back before the ship sails. For U.S. cruisers who love a good value and a bit of adventure, mixing both can be the winning formula. Sometimes safe, sometimes spontaneous, but always smarter with a little prep. At the end of the day, cruising isn't just about where you go, it's about how well you navigate the journey. And the more you know, the more you enjoy every moment, from the welcome aboard to the final farewell. Because this isn't just a vacation, it's your time, your escape. And you deserve to experience it without the sneaky fees, the missed fine print, or the towel chair drama. So take what you've learned today, tuck it next to your sunscreen, and step on board with a little more clarity and a lot more confidence. And if this video made you laugh, think, or rethink your next cruise plan, give it a like, share it with a fellow traveler, and subscribe to TravelVibes for more smart tips that help you cruise like a pro. Until next time, stay curious, cruise wise, and I'll see you just past the gangway.